It was raining that morning, the kind of rain that didn't just fall but pelted, slamming into the roof with angry fists. I stood under the crooked porch light, soaked through my worn-out flannel shirt, gripping a plastic grocery bag with everything I had left. One sock, my blood pressure pills, a folded-up picture of her third-grade science fair project, and a letter I never had the guts to give her. I knocked again. The door I'd painted sky blue myself just last year remained shut. I could still hear the celebration from inside, pop music thumping, laughter, the sound of champagne corks launching into plaster ceilings. I knew that laugh. My daughter, Valerie, she used to laugh like that when she was 6, holding a paper crown on her head after winning Queen of the Day in kindergarten. She'd made me wear a cape of toilet paper that day, said I was the king of dads, but that morning she had just kicked me out. I didn't yell, didn't argue, just stood there, rain mingling with the salt of disbelief on my lips. 20 minutes later, I was on the bus bench down the street, cold metal beneath me, trembling from more than the wind. My knees ached, not just from the arthritis, but from everything. I raised that girl by myself. Her mom walked out when Valerie was 8 months old. Said motherhood wasn't for her. I was a mechanic back then, working 12-hour shifts, often coming home with oil under my nails and just enough energy to heat up spaghetti os. But I made up bedtime stories. I learned how to braid her hair from YouTube. I taught her how to parallel park in my old Chevy, holding the wheel while she panicked over the cones. I missed promotions to be at her piano recitals, sold my wedding ring to help her buy her first used car. God knows we scraped through some months by pawning off things that had more memory than value. But we made it. And now she had $30 million, and I had nothing but a bag and a broken heart. It didn't make sense. The day before, she'd been smiling at me across the kitchen table, humming like she always did when she was nervous. She said she had something exciting to tell me. I never imagined that excitement would come with a security guard escorting me to the front porch and locking the door behind me. You're probably wondering why. Hell, so was I. But the answer came about 22 minutes after I was kicked out, when a sleek black SUV pulled up beside the bench. The window rolled down, and out came the face I hadn't seen in nearly 25 years. "Hello, Marcus," said Lisa. My ex-wife, she hadn't aged, or maybe she had, and money just softened the lines. Her voice, however, hadn't changed a bit. Smooth like poison in warm tea. "What are you doing here?" I asked, standing up like a startled animal. "I heard about Valerie's win," she said. "Thought I'd come congratulate her. Maybe see an old friend, a friend." Lisa hadn't spoken to either of us in 2 decades. Not for birthdays, graduations, not even when Valerie broke her leg in high school. I knew something was off the moment Valerie started spending more time on her phone last month, giggling at messages, walking into the garage to take private calls. I figured it was a guy. Maybe I even hoped it was. But now, seeing Lisa, I understood. Valerie had found her mother. And her mother was here for something. I turned and walked away, not trusting myself to speak. I was too hurt to argue, too old to fight, and too proud to beg. Subplot 1 started 3 months earlier, though I didn't know it at the time, when Valerie secretly submitted a few scratch tickets to the state lottery office. She didn't tell me because she said it was just for fun. The win, $30 million, a life changer. But the real prize wasn't the money. It was what came crawling out of the past, the moment she got it. Lisa had reached out the moment the news hit the local station, claimed she wanted to reconnect, talked about making up for lost time, said she could help Valerie manage her new life. Valerie, always having a gap inside her shaped like a mother, welcomed her in. What I didn't know was that Lisa had remarried. Her husband, a lawyer, knew all the right things to say. They made Valerie think I'd manipulated her life, held her back, kept her small. Said I'd mismanaged our finances, that I'd kept her from knowing her true family. Meanwhile, I sat in a motel room that smelled like mildew, watching my daughter's Instagram fill with designer bags, champagne glasses, and photos of her and Lisa on a yacht. They'd renamed the boat Second Chances. I stopped eating much, just crackers and motel coffee. But each night, I wrote in that same old notebook I'd had since Valerie was 10 stories, thoughts, letters. I wrote her one every day. Most I tore out and threw away. One, though, I kept. That's where subplot 2 begins. It was something Valerie didn't know about me, something no one did. Years ago, I'd invented a small mechanical component that helped reduce fuel waste in certain types of engines. Nothing groundbreaking, but efficient, clean, and cheap. I sold the rights too soon, desperate for cash when Valerie needed braces. The company that bought it made millions. I never saw a dime, but I kept tweaking, kept inventing. And 3 weeks after being kicked out, I filed a patent for a new version, one that could revolutionize hybrid engines. A friend from the garage days helped me connect with a startup. Turns out, people like scrappy old mechanics with a brain and a story. By month 2, they offered me a contract, but I didn't call Valerie, didn't try to win her back. I just kept living. Meanwhile, things weren't going so smoothly in her new world. Lisa started making decisions for Valerie. The investments, the parties, the appearances. Valerie found herself spending more time in luxury than in peace. Her old friends felt distant. Her new friends were shallow. Her mother controlling, demanding, critical. And then a moment came, a small thing, but it cracked the illusion. It was a Tuesday. Valerie came home early from a gala, tired and overdressed. Lisa was in the kitchen, sipping wine. Valerie mentioned she missed the diner on 7th Street, our diner. The one we used to go to after church. Lisa scoffed and said, "That greasy place. Marcus always did have poor taste." That's when Valerie asked, "How would you know?" Lisa froze. Then muttered something about just a figure of speech. But Valerie remembered. She remembered the man who sat across from her every Saturday morning while she stirred hot chocolate with a plastic spoon. The man who sewed patches on her backpack and clapped louder than anyone when she graduated. And just like that, the house of cards shook. A week later, I was watching the sunset from a bench near the harbor. Still alone, but calm. A voice called out behind me. "Dad!" I turned. She looked tired. Her hair was a mess. No makeup, no designer clothes. Just jeans, sneakers, and that look she had when she was 7, and trying to hide the fact she'd broken the toaster. She sat beside me and didn't speak for a while. We just watched the sky go orange. I was wrong, she said finally. I nodded, yeah. I thought money would fix things. I thought it would give me answers, but it just made the questions louder. I know. She started crying. Soft, quiet sobs. I didn't say anything, just let her lean into my shoulder like she used to during thunderstorms. Later that night, back at my tiny apartment, she looked around and said, "I'd trade every cent of that money if I could go back to the day before I bought that ticket." I smiled. "You don't have to, you just have to go forward." The ending wasn't a dramatic public scene or a social media apology. It was just a father and daughter rebuilding what money tried to buy and broke in the process. Valerie cut ties with Lisa. Quietly, no screaming matches, no lawsuits, just a clean break. She hired a financial advisor who didn't know her mother. She donated half her winnings to community programs and started volunteering. And on Saturdays, we still go to that same diner. That picture from her 3rd grade science fair, it's back on my wall now. Right next to a new one, her shaking hands with the president of the nonprofit she founded, Second Chances, which helps kids who have lost a parent or been abandoned find mentorship. As for me, my invention took off. I didn't become a millionaire, but I didn't need to. I got back something better. There's a lesson in this, I guess, that wealth can buy many things, but not time, not truth, not love. And that sometimes the people who seem most disposable are the ones who built the very foundation others stand on. My daughter won $30 million and kicked me out of the house. 20 minutes later, I lost everything. But 3 months later, I got her back, and this time we both knew what really mattered.